this is Datila, and welcome to the TNAIW GoGo Power Rankings show. As always, I'm joined by my co-host Burt Maclin, no relation to Steve Maclin.
How's it going, everybody?
All right, so this week's Power Rankings should be extremely interesting, and I'll tell you why. I feel like the Motor City Machine Guns should be completely separated this time around. I mean, incredible main event. And you know I love Josh Alexander. He is our current Impact champion, and he's done a fantastic job being Impact champion. And I think that, being champion in terms of power rankings carries a lot of weight. But I unfortunately think that he should not be on this week's power rankings because all Homeboy did was watch the Motor City Machine Gun match backstage.
Well, the key word is that he's world champion, so he's going to be in the rankings at some position every week for the foreseeable future. I really don't think there's any argument with that. I agree, he didn't really have that big of a presence on the show, but he's still our world champion, so that does carry some weight.
Always. I was impressed by Vex, so I definitely want to see them on the power rankings.
I hope they're number one because that was my favorite thing on the show.
Definitely. Well, maybe not number one. I'll be okay with it as long as they have a high spot on the power rankings.
I think that their debut was so well done, and they had great gear. They work well together. They're already like top heels already. I would give them the belts.
Exactly. And you know what? As you said, their attire, I really love the fact that Deonna Purrazzo and Chelsea Green have matching attire.
It goes a long way to, as for the total package.
It definitely does. But before we get into the power rankings, how do people join the power rankings committee?
All you have to do is reach out to me on Twitter at Burt Maclin 11, DM, or just a simple tweet, and we'll add you to the committee. We're just looking for people who watch Impact, whether it's live or at some point in the week, and can get out a quick top 10. It's as simple as that. And this is a fan vote, so your votes do matter. So join the committee and participate. And I want to welcome our two newest members, Noah and Kyle. This is their first week, and they've already made a huge impact. Pun intended.
I see what you did there. Alrighty then. With that being said, let's play the power rankings.
Number 10, Tag Team Champions, Team Ragnarok. Number 9, HBIC, Mia Yim. Number 8, Honor No More. Number 7, World Champion, Jordan Grace. Number 6, Masha Slamovich. Number 5, World Champion, Josh Alexander. Number 4, Tag Team Champions, Bullet Club. Number 3, Purrazzo and Green, Vexed. Number 2, X Division Champion, Mike Bailey. Number 1 contender, Alex Shelley, and the Motor City Machine Guns.
Wow. Okay, some controversy on the power rankings. Let's start with the biggest controversy of them all. Josh Alexander being number 5? Really? Number 5? I've seen him be at number 2, but less than number 5. He's dead last on the top 5 when you think about it.
Well, you were just saying that you said that you didn't think he should be in the top 10 at all. So, number 5 is still really good. So, again, he really didn't do much, but he's the world champion. So, he has to be in the top 10. There would be no reason for him not to be. He has to be in the top 10 every week if he's world champion. The world champion will be every champion will usually be in the top 10 every week, I would think. Unless they're not doing anything.
Or they don't show up.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the next travesty here. The Motor City Machine Guns, who voted them together as a unit. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. They do deserve it. But this was Alex Shelley's moment. I mean, commentary making note of the fact that this was Alex Shelley's first #1 contenders match. This is the first time Alex Shelley is challenging for the world title, and he was robbed of his glory. He deserved that solo #1 spot. No disrespect to Chris Sabin. Like I said, I love the Motor City Machine Guns. I just feel like this was Alex Shelley's time to shine solo.
If Alex Shelley was facing anybody else and he won, I would of course I would say to be Alex Shelley deserves that spot. But the fact that he beat Chris Sabin, and Chris Sabin has been wrestling just as well as Alex Shelley has been. They're both on fire right now. I'm starting to be okay with the fact that they're both #1. I think they deserve it. And you know, why Alex Shelley got the win. They both look so amazing in that match. I'm okay with it.
Okay, you made your point. I can't argue with that. I think you bring up a good point. You know, I have to say, though, I feel like Diener deserved a spot in this week's Power Rankings. He had an incredible match against Speedball Mike Bailey. And I have to be completely honest, I was not expecting him to have that much of a good match against Speedball. I think Speedball carried him. Well, actually, no, I don't want to say carried him, but I think that Diener was able to hold his own against Speedball, you know? And like I wasn't expecting that from Diener because between the three, Eric Young, Joe Dorian, and Diener, I kind of feel like Diener's just there half the time. You know, I feel like Eric Young and Joe Dorian do most of the action, and Diener's just there. So I felt like this was a really good opportunity for him to shine.
Well, two things. I think one, this is the best Diener has been like storyline character wise since he's, you know, I mean, this is his best thing since joining BBD. Like I remember when he was with Jake a little bit ago, and then I remember him years before that. But I think since he's joined BBD, this is the most relevant he's been. So, and then number two, I would say, I think the match quality is all a product of the storyline that Mike Bailey is saying that he wants to go out there and put the belt on the line every week, basically, or as much as he can. So I think we're going to see the best matches we can of guys that are going to go out there and challenge for it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look at Allen Five Angels, for instance. Incredible debut match against Speedball Mike Bailey.
Yeah, that was probably the best match I've seen Allen Angels have. So
definitely do agree with that.
I just want to make a quick point as well that there was four of the first top 5 spots this week were knockouts, and then another knockout in the top 5, Jordan Grace, I believe. So and then there's 2 tag teams, so that's 7 knockouts in the top 10 altogether. That's pretty incredible, and just shows the strength of that division as a whole and how Impact's always cared about it. I think that's really cool.
Well, not to toot Impact's horn or anything, but I've always said Impact has the best women's division out of anybody. And I feel like because people sleep on Impact, the knockouts don't get the recognition that they deserve. I mean, I know this happened last year, but last year's knockdown, best women's pay-per-view of all time. It had wrestling. It gave us good women's wrestling. And yet people continue to not only sleep on Impact, but on the knockouts division.
Yeah, not enough people watch Impact, and I don't know why. They are really missing out.
They truly are. They truly are. All right, well, who do you expect to see on next week's Power Rankings?
I would expect maybe Josh Alexander to be a little bit higher, but for me, I just think going forward, Bex is going to be we're going to be talking about them a lot, and I just think their push is going to start immediately. You know, there were already stars, especially Deanna. You know, she's they're both former world champions, but Deanna has basically been the star of that division the last few years. So I expect them to be in the top 10 going forward every week.
I'm expecting to see Kushida on the power rankings in some capacity next week. As we both know, Kushida making his Impact debut, saving the Motor City Machine Guns from Violent by Design.
Hopefully we get a Time Splitters reunion. Maybe little Alex. I want to see that.
That would be
Kushida
interesting.
and were great together.
That definitely would be an interesting thing. Before we wrap up here, I do want to give a shout out to Chris Bay. His incredible white Bullet Club jacket. Like, I've never seen white Bullet Club attire before, so I really, really love that white jacket. But just Chris Bay and Ace Austin in general, amazing. I think they finally got it together and will make a great tag team going forward.
They're too good, and Bullet Club is too sweet, as we all know.
Too sweet, brother.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely. But do you have anything else you want to say or add as we get ready to wrap up?
I would just say, just watch Impact Wrestling. I keep saying that. Like, every week it delivers. It's 2 hours of top-notch wrestling.
That is true. Extremely true. But you guys, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continuing support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever the GoGo Power Rankings drops or whenever TNAIW releases a new video. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Have a good night.